And we got a #1 pick possibly next year.
The brother can play.
Shedeur will get the opportunity as he continues to progress and earn the trust of the coaching staff. And if he does that, look, Mike T's right. He's the most talented thrower on that roster.
You won't believe what just happened at Browns training camp. While everyone was busy writing off Shedeur Sanders as just Deion's kid, this fifth-round rookie just flipped the entire NFL on its head. In 3 days, he went from afterthought to frontrunner, leaving veterans scratching their heads and coaches scrambling to rewrite their depth charts. I'm talking about a 77.3% completion rate that's better than Joe Flacco, better than Kenny Pickett, and better than every veteran on that roster. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, and precision that's making scouts say he's not just ahead of schedule, he's making his own timeline. But here's the kicker. He did all of this with second and third string reps while the starters were getting the premium treatment. So if you think you know how this quarterback battle ends, think again. What I'm about to show you will completely change how you see this rookie's future in Cleveland. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the most shocking developments in the NFL. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into the Shedeur Sanders phenomenon that's taking Cleveland by storm. Before training camp started, everyone had this figured out. Deshaun Watson would lead, Joe Flacco would mentor, and the rookies would learn. Simple, predictable, boring. But Shedeur Sanders didn't get that memo. Instead, he showed up with something nobody expected, the skills to back up his legendary last name. We're going to break down exactly how this happened, from his pre-camp preparation that had coaches doing double takes to the mechanical improvements that have his arm strength jumping off the charts to the leadership moments that are making veterans take notice. Plus, I'll share what AI projections are saying about his future, and trust me, you won't see this coming. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Cleveland might have accidentally found their franchise quarterback in the 5th round. Let's get into it. Here's something that separates champions from pretenders, what they do when nobody's watching. While other rookies were enjoying their draft weekend celebrations and social media tours, Shedeur Sanders was already in Cleveland, grinding like his career depended on it.
In the FBS, more than 71% for his career. He completed 74% of his passes last year, despite being sacked about 42 times. 90 plus times over the 2 years that he was at Colorado.
Before camp even officially started, Sanders was at a local high school, helmet on, running drills in the sweltering heat. No cameras, no fanfare, no audience, just pure, relentless preparation. Who does that? Who shows up to a new city and immediately starts working like they're fighting for their life? But it gets better. When the real practices began, those solitary hours paid off in ways that stunned everyone. During OTAs and minicamp, Sanders posted numbers that made coaches do double takes, a 77.3% completion rate, 41 completions on 53 attempts, 9 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. These aren't good for rookie numbers, these are elite quarterback numbers, period. Remember, he was working with second and third string receivers while the veterans got the premium talent. Yet every ball had touch, every decision showed timing, and every throw made the coaching staff lean forward in their chairs. One scout said it perfectly, he's not just ahead of schedule, he's making his own timeline. When a 5th-round pick starts producing tape that looks like year 3 film, you know something special is happening. Let's talk about what's really got NFL scouts buzzing, Shedeur's mechanical transformation. Over the summer, he worked obsessively on something called arm whip. And before you roll your eyes thinking it's just flashy terminology, understand this, it's the difference between college arm strength and NFL velocity. The results are undeniable. Balls are zipping now with clean spirals, hitting tighter windows, and carrying more bite. Those narrow NFL passing lanes that destroy college quarterbacks? Sanders isn't avoiding them, he's attacking them with surgical precision. It's like watching a fastball with GPS guidance. But here's what's even more impressive, his footwork evolution. Gone are the chaotic bailouts and forced improvisation we saw at Colorado. Sanders is now smooth under center, polished in play action, and absolutely lethal with timing throws. He's reading defenders before they even commit to their coverage. One Browns coach put it bluntly, he's processing faster than we expected. When you combine that mental processing speed with improved arm strength and refined mechanics, you get a quarterback who's not just surviving the NFL transition, he's thriving in it. The scary part? This is just the beginning. If Sanders is showing this level of improvement in his first few months as a professional, imagine what he'll look like after a full season of NFL coaching and development. Here's where Shedeur Sanders separated himself from every other rookie in that building: leadership. And I'm not talking about rah-rah speeches or manufactured motivation. I'm talking about real, authentic moments that reveal character. At a recent Browns event, a fan tried to disrespect Joe Flacco right in front of Sanders. Most rookies would have laughed it off or stayed quiet to avoid controversy. Not Shedeur. He cut the fan off mid-sentence and said, "Joe Flacco ain't the backup of my man." Calm, respectful, but absolutely firm. That moment went viral not because it was flashy, but because it was real leadership. But the moment that really defined him happened off the field. While other rookies were chasing red carpets and award shows, Sanders organized a community event for families displaced by a deadly apartment fire. In 5 days, he pulled together what felt like a citywide movement: free food, live music, and genuine care for people who needed it most. This wasn't some polished PR stunt. Sanders was down in the dirt, blowing bubbles with toddlers, serving barbecue to grandmothers, and playing games with unemployed fathers like they were lifelong friends. Then he dropped a line that stopped everyone cold: "Sending money, that's easy. Being here, that's leadership." Nearly 1,000 residents showed up, and the community hasn't stopped talking since. Now here's where things get absolutely wild. Artificial intelligence, yes, AI, ran a comprehensive NFL projection on Shedeur Sanders, analyzing every possible career trajectory based on his current performance metrics, physical tools, and developmental curve. The results? Prepare yourself: Super Bowl champion, league MVP, 7-time Pro Bowler, over 62,000 passing yards, 144 career wins, and a Hall of Fame trajectory. This isn't some fantasy football projection or wishful thinking from Browns fans. This is an algorithm that processed thousands of data points and career comparisons to predict Sanders' professional future. When artificial intelligence believes in a player more than human scouts do, that should make everyone pay attention. The AI doesn't care about draft position, family legacy, or media narratives. It only sees performance, improvement rates, and statistical probabilities. But here's what makes this projection even more credible: Sanders is already exceeding the early benchmarks that the AI used for its calculations. His completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, and leadership metrics are all tracking ahead of the model's expectations. Think about this. We're watching a player who's not just meeting AI projections for future success, he's beating them in real time. If that doesn't give you chills about what's coming next, you're not paying attention to what's happening in Cleveland. Let's address the elephant in the room: the quarterback competition. Everyone keeps talking about this four-way battle, but here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to say out loud: it's already over. Deshaun Watson is the starter by default due to his contract, but his legal issues and inconsistent play have created an opening. Joe Flacco is the veteran presence, but he's 39 years old and clearly in the twilight of his career. That leaves Dillon Gabriel as Sanders' main competition, and honestly, that comparison isn't even close. Gabriel has a cannon for an arm, sure, but Sanders has something more valuable: timing, placement, anticipation, and control. When you put their tape side by side, the difference is stark. Sanders completed 74% of his passes last season despite being sacked 42 times behind Colorado's struggling offensive line. Gabriel never faced that level of pressure or showed that level of resilience. Here's the reality that Browns management is grappling with. They will not keep 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Someone's getting cut, and unless Sanders suddenly forgets how to play football, Gabriel is the odd man out. Sanders was drafted as a project, maybe even practice squad material. But now he's forcing the team's hand with performance that can't be ignored. The question isn't whether he's ready, it's whether Cleveland is ready for him. So here we are, watching something that nobody saw coming. A 5th-round pick who was supposed to be a developmental project is now making the Browns front office rethink everything they thought they knew about their quarterback room. Shedeur Sanders has the stats, a 77.3% completion rate that beats every veteran on the roster. He has the skills, mechanical improvements that have his arm strength jumping to NFL levels. He has the heart, community leadership that's making Cleveland fall in love with him. And he has the projection, AI models predicting Hall of Fame trajectory. But most importantly, he has something you can't teach, that hunger, that drive, that refusal to accept limitations that others try to place on him. When a rookie shows up before camp starts and immediately begins outworking everyone around him, when he stands up for teammates and serves his community, when he makes throws that have coaches questioning their depth charts, that's not luck. That's destiny. The Browns thought they were getting a project quarterback in the 5th round. Instead, they might have found the face of their franchise. Cleveland hasn't had quarterback excitement like this in years, and if Sanders keeps developing at this pace, they might not have to wait much longer to see him under center. What do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders really ready to lead the Browns, or should they stick with the veterans? Drop your predictions in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your takes on these developing stories. And if you want to stay ahead of every shocking development in the NFL, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Trust me, if Sanders keeps playing like this, you won't want to miss what happens next. The season hasn't even started yet, and we're already witnessing history in the making. Hit that like button if you think Sanders is going to surprise everyone this season, and I'll see you in the next video where we break down more stories that are reshaping the NFL landscape.